you do. And that's how I lost P5. Yeah, that's how the bonnet got messed. It kind of wrecked the front of the car a little bit. Let's see what happens. I do this as well later. Oh look, Audi 130R. What do we think? And that's why I didn't drive the Audi. Clovis Assurance. Assured not to take... Oh dear. Oh dear. What position was in the 11? Which lap was it that Lucas went down the inside? Because I've not seen that yet. And I ran wide, so that was definitely a 1X. That was Captain Neck. Whoa, hello. Okay. He does realise that that counts towards his points, right? Yeah, so I didn't see a couple of things then. I don't think it was lap 18 when he went down the inside of me. Right, Lucas is behind me at this point. It was 2 laps before the last pit. Is that Ponce? I think that's Ponce, isn't it?
Welcome back.
The #1 car, he was very quick. See, at one point I managed to amass quite a lead on him.
Happy anniversary, Nutter.
Hang on, if we go back to here, then jump forward a lap. Oh, game. He must have just overtook me.
2 litres remaining. Okay, Paul. Very little fuel left. Come into the pits at the end of this lap. Box this lap.
There we go. Because, at this point, I'd basically knocked up a massive lead on him. And then I throw it all away by losing the back end in Spoon. The classic break and turn. So I keep it straight, but then I've lost a ton of time. So Lucas is like, well, I'm going to go down the inside, which is fair enough. Now the question is, should I have moved over and defended my line, knowing full well that by the time I got to 130R, I'd have had to brake heavily anyway? I'm trying to work out how I should have played this. Should I just backed off and given it to him? I don't know if I should have defended beforehand or just backed off and let him go through and let him run wide, maybe. I mean, he didn't do anything wrong. He held his line. I can't complain about what he did. I'm just trying to work out what I should have done. Like, should I have moved over at this point and defended it? Or should I have, like, backed off here, maybe? Let him run through, and then I pick up my normal line? So I don't want to make that mistake again. That allowed 2 cars to jump me, which is annoying.
Okay, Paul, 15 minutes left. That's 15 minutes.
Anyway. Let's get the results. Wow, it took quite a bit of safety off me this time. It took 22 safety away from me. And I got 39 iRacing. That's quite a lot. That's running me dangerously close to 3.1 again. It's hard with A license, yeah, I know. If that happened again, I would drop back immediately to 2.4 something, probably. But yeah, an 11X. You can't beat the guy in the last race. Oh, look, there's another one. 22X. Wow, look at that. He lost 0.55. 22X. That is nasty. I thought I was doing bad. Where's Ponce finished? There he is. So he was car number 1. He got 62 out of it. Average lap time was 2:02. My fastest lap time was 2 minutes, 0.5. Do you know what? That lap time, if you look at the rest of the lap times, my lap time here stacks up with the fastest drivers. Like, that guy's 0.2. So I was quicker than him. I was quicker than him. Quicker than him. Ponce was quicker than me. I was quicker than him. Him. I was literally quicker than not him. Most of the drivers, though, I was quicker than. On my fastest lap, anyway. But my average was rubbish because I kept having those nasty laps. Mr. Gibbons! How you doing, sir? Thank you for 25 months, mate. Thank you. Hope you're well. Hope the move's gone well. Looking forward to seeing you racing again. Mr. CrossFits, I survived my wrist surgery just fine. I'm happy to be back home. Walkabout CrossFits. Floating Fat Man, thank you for 4 years. So yeah, I'll take it. My qualification was terrible. I messed up the first lap with the worst 1x ever. And then somehow qualified in 10th. Qualified in 10th, got up to 5th, went back to 9th. Right, next race is in 40 minutes. I was P4 at one point, I was. Just couldn't keep the consistency. Does it explain the safety points and why they're so high? They are explained somewhere, but when you're in the A license, it's like hard to gain points, easy to lose them. So it is kind of tricky keeping your A license. You're doing VRS GT3, I am. Do you know what? It's the only car track combo this week that I feel comfortable with. I don't know what it is this week. Like Road America, every car that I tried in Road America, I just was 1x in left, right, and center. And just a tiny bit on the grass, and boom, you're in a wall. So I didn't like Road America very much this week. I tried the M8 at Suzuka, and I wasn't happy with it. I felt like the back end was a bit happy. So I also tried the Ford at Road America. Suzuka's the best track. I kind of figured it, I would have more chance of surviving at Suzuka than I would at Road America. For two reasons. One, it's quite a big open track, right? So you can kind of stay out of trouble a bit better than Road America. And also because it's VRS, I can just enjoy the GT3 side of it and not have to deal with the LMP cars dive bombing down the inside. Road America is a very tricky track. Young Gun, thank you for 40 months. Class A oval license, mostly NASCAR. I've been trying out the road stuff recently, but it's not clicking with me. Any tip suggestions? What do you mean when you say it's not clicking with you? I think my suggestion would be the standard one, like pick a car and stick with that. If you keep changing car, you're going to make life hell for yourself. But you need to get a good setup, Young Gun. There's a few places you can get setups from. I think the 3 best known ones are Craig's Setup, Pure Driving School, and VRS. But you have to pay for all of them. Yeah, I'm using the AMG. Yep, the setups are paid for, Kirby. Because every week, Kirby, some really fast sim racers test the cars, tweak the setups, and then show you a lap in that setup, show you what they do to get that time, and then say there's a setup. And they spend a lot of hours doing it, so it's only fair they get some money for it, right? Exactly. So, Mr. Gibbons, have you set up your racing rig yet? Are you back on the track, or are you still sorting things out? Nordschleife was the best track. But yeah, Young Gun, if you take the default setup of a car, you've got absolutely no chance. Like, you need to get a setup from somewhere. Is the racing equipment DIY? What do you mean? You mean the actual frame? No, the frame is a SimLabs P1X. They're quite a modular frame though, so you can bolt things to them. You know, you can configure them quite nicely. They're kind of like Lego Technics in that sense. You just think, oh, I wouldn't mind something over here. Well, you know, get some extrusion and bolt it. That's the cool thing about this extrusion stuff.
The leader has just done a 157.47.
They're already constantly out of stock, Lord Socket. Do you know why that is? There might be a certain situation in the world that is causing problems with production right now. I keep telling you, Alex, it's going to be like late summer before you even see that. There's no way you're going to get that for months. I'll be amazed if you did. I don't know if you can see or not, but it's basically a frame. Like, the monitors are on their own stand, and then the rig itself is like a rectangular frame like that, and the seats at the back, and the pedals are down there at the front. And then you have these two uprights that come up with a deck where you put the wheel. But then on this frame, you can obviously attach whatever you want. So I've got a cross piece that I put on. And then on the cross piece, I clamp shifter. And then I have a Warthog mounting bracket that you can get from a German company. That you can then just sit that on there. You can even mount the throttle for that if you wanted to. But personally, I want to have that. So I mount that on a rotating arm piece that is built for accessories. Because SimLabs do a bunch of things like accessory packs. So you can get this bar. And I stuck these two bars on it and mounted this onto there, you see. And then I can just swing that in and out. I have not Apple stand. And then, you know, SimLabs do this keyboard tray, which is quite big. And that obviously pivots in and out as well. The Stream Deck, I had to make my own mounting for that because nobody does. In fact, the Stream Decks aren't even mountable. The Stream Decks are built for a desk. They're not mountable in any way. I had to drill a hole and use a bolt and connect it to a bracket to get them to sit there. But then the wheel decks you buy a wheel deck depending on what wheel you've got. This is literally called the wheel deck, SimLabs do. And this takes various kinds of wheel. You can also clamp a wheel to it if you want to. No, the video's not... The video will be finished showing you all this when I actually get my new PC. Because that's going to be part of the room tour. And frankly, if I made a video on the SimLab now, and you wanted to buy one, you're going to be really upset because... you just can't order them yet, like... Because of... Corona. Something. Yes, Nightmare. One big monitor. No, this is a Fanatec. So if you run the... Is it the wheel command? It'll link you to this wheelbase. This wheel. There's another wheel that I use for trucking. And the pedals. They're all Fanatec. What's the status of the new PC? So the part that had failed has been ordered. That was meant to be delivered just after Easter. I've not heard if it has been delivered yet. So the guy that was doing the build for it, he's waiting for the part so he can finish the build off. And then I can get the machine. Strong Velcro adhesive would be made sufficient for the Stream Decks. No, I tried it. Mr. Chew, I tried it, mate. That was the first thing I did, was I tried using Velcro on this. So under here is like a T-piece. And I tried Velcroing it onto it, and it was horrendous. So I went, okay, that doesn't work. In fact, I could probably show you. I take this off. Oh, there's not much room on that one. Might be more cable length on this one. It's probably as I've cable managed everything in. I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's basically... There's a bolt right there. I drilled a hole right through the base plate of this thing and bolted it to a bracket that I attached to the upright. And that was the only way I could get it to stay there. I can't afford the Fanatec at the moment, so I had to send my Thrustmaster back as it arrived with a faulty PSU. Oh man, that sucks. You should have just ordered a PSU from somewhere that was compatible and then had them ship that to you. But yeah, I mean, this is a belt-driven... This is a belt-driven wheelbase. So, I think these are probably the best bang for buck for most people in terms of racing. Like, if you go direct drive, they cost at least twice as much. Yeah, at least twice as much. And yeah, direct drive is, as it says, you're linked directly to the motor. This has, like, cogs inside with belts.
57.27.
Before direct drive came along, these were, like, the best you can get. This kind of thing. They're very accurate, but they're not as accurate as a DD. But price-wise, they're like 600 and something euros and pounds, I think. Whereas a DD drive, you're looking at over $1,000. So, the thing to bear in mind though is, whichever wheel you go with, whichever wheelbase you go with, you're basically buying into that ecosystem. It's a bit like a camera. You buy a camera body, and then you buy a lens for it, and you can have different lenses. Same with this. You buy a wheelbase, you can have different wheels, but you're buying into that ecosystem. So if you go Fanatec, and then you think to yourself, oh, I don't like this anymore, you can't just take your wheel and put it on a sim cube. It's not going to work. So then you're going to have to buy the whole thing again if you want to change manufacturer. So think about that before you buy something. Yeah, it's just the way it sits on this bracket, Mr. Chu. If I had a much bigger... it's all to do with the plates that's underneath. That's why the Velcro didn't work. And also with the Velcro, there was like quite a bit of movement. Because obviously the Velcro's like that thick, like 3-4 mil thick, and it is like a cushion. Like it held it, it didn't fall off, but it was just nasty when you tried to press it. Too much flex in the whole thing. Started using the emotes from a gifted sub I got from someone I don't even follow. Yeah, because when they do like a sub bomb, it gives it out to random people. Yeah, these are not cheap. But, like I say, you can do cool things with them, like control the lighting. That's just like one thing you can do with it. I can mute the microphone, so if I press... I said, you can't hear me anymore. Change scenes, all that stuff. And then over here, this is all set up for the game, so iRacing and then trucking, whatever. I still don't have a tea button. I need to get a tea and coffee button. Actually, I could probably register for the race session now, couldn't I? Does this monitor make it against the classical 3-screen setup? That is a very interesting question, Mr. Chu. See, I've raced with 3 screens. Quirk has raced with 3 screens. Both of us have gone to 1 screen. That's not to say that's the right way to go, that's the best way to go, that's not true. But it's all to do with... It's all to do with your room. The space that you have in your house is one factor, right? Because 3 screens takes up a lot of space. That's one thing. Second thing is, if you've got 3 monitors, you're going to have to mount 3 monitors. So you're going to need either a triple monitor stand, or you're going to have to wall mount 3 monitors, or you're going to have to come up with something. And lining 3 monitors up and getting them all perfectly beveled and at the right angle is, unless you use a dedicated build for that, that is quite tricky to get right. Third thing is, you need 3 power supplies, 3 video cables, and 3 outputs from your PC. Finally, you've got your screen, and then you've got a bevel, and then you've got your screens. Now, there are things you can do about the beveling. And ultimately, with 3 screens, you will see more on the sides, left and right of you, you'll see more. But mostly you're focused on that anyway. And having 1 monitor, seamless, without a bevel, 1 power supply, 1 mounting point, 1 graphics cable, is nice and simple. It looks more natural with 1 big curved screen. It does look a lot more natural that way. With the problem with 3 screens is, it's fine when you're sat in the exact position. It looks fine. But if you move it slightly, it doesn't look good anymore. You suddenly start to see, like, artifacts between, you know... When it's on one screen here, you'll see a line, and then this screen here, you'll see it, like, at that angle, unless you look at it exactly right.
Sorry.
Whoops. So, at the end of the day, it's a trade-off. Like a lot of things, it's a trade-off. How did you get the chat overlay on the monitor? What, on my monitor here, I use caps. Does 3 screens make your GPU work harder? Well, the 3 screens, assuming they're just 1080 screens, means you're rendering 3 1920 by 1080 images. This is 2. So this is rendering 2/3 of the real estate of 3 monitors. So yes, it's less effort for the graphics card, because you're basically losing some. Triple resolution allows you to see a bit more. Triple screen lets you see a bit more. But frankly, from here, in front of me, all the way around there, like, it's a heck of a field of view. What racing sim should I play on my first wheel? I only have Forza. Blimey. Are you on PC? Let me register for the race session. I don't know. It's like it's an impossible question to answer correctly. Because it depends what you're looking for out of your racing. What is it that you're looking for, THU, when you think about a racing sim? What's the most important things to you? Is it, you know, the amount of cars, the amount of tracks, what it visually looks like, what the audio's like, what the underlying physics sim is like, what the online racing is like? Like, what's the most important thing? No, Libops, that code doesn't work. You can use my referral email, but that code doesn't work. You can use any iRacing code and my email address. What, the original Assetto Corsa Yak or Assetto Corsa Competizione? The new one. There's also things like Race Room. iRacing's hard for the beginner because most people who already join have a few hundred hours in other sims. No AI to practice against makes iRacing very difficult. Actually, iRacing has AI now. Can race against AI. I've never tried it. I don't know what it's like, but you can do it. Project Cars 2 is fun. Well, so's Forza. I mean, but again, it comes back to what you want. I mean, if you're just starting out, definitely you don't want to be doing iRacing because you don't want to be paying monthly. You might play it for 2 weeks and decide you don't want to do it. The AI in iRacing is pretty darn competent, says D-Pain. There you go. What's a good racing game? There's a lot of good racing games, but the one that's right for you depends on what you're looking for. Have you tried the 49-inch with 224 on each? No. No, you would never do that, Nightmare, because then you would have a bevel right in the middle. That's like the worst thing. You either have one screen or you have 3 screens. You never have 2 when you're racing. You need an odd number. 1, 3, or 5. Oh, a 49 in the middle with 24s on each side. Dude, if you put a 24, I don't even think you can see this. Like, that there, so that corner there is the full length of my arm. That is so far away that if you was to stick another screen over here, it would be entirely useless. It would be so far displaced from you that it wouldn't work. You would be much better off having a screen like that and having a third one come out the side here, which is exactly what a triple is. You either go triple, same size monitors, same resolution. In fact, just get 3 identical monitors, otherwise it will just look nasty. Because if you get different monitors, it won't even color correct properly. So get 3 identical monitors or get 1 monitor. That's the only thing that's going to work. iRacing is a money sink. Well, it is until you've bought the stuff you need, right? If you only ever race one car and you bought the tracks, all you got then is your monthly fee.
There's traffic behind. Keep your wits about you.
Have you ever seen the Zeus bevel harder thing? Hi, my name's Paul. I like iRacing. How do you hide a bezel?
Car approaching. Watch your mirrors.
With some very strange jiggery pokery. You put this strip in front of the bezel and it refracts the light from the side monitors to try and give you an illusion that it's hiding. It doesn't give you any image you can look at. Just something that looks vaguely like the image on the monitors. I think this guy's trying to mow the lawn. Oh no, it's him again. 0.3 I rating, it's this guy again. I swear this guy's playing with the controller. I honestly think it is. Oh my god. Dude, let me pass.
Right side's clear.
Holy heck, is he playing with a keyboard or a controller? That was unbelievable. Yeah, but in ECS2, you're not trying to competitively race against other people. It's fine to drive around with a controller, but racing with a controller, that's something else. Ooh, went a bit deep in the corner. I still think they should have an ETS2 MP server just for racing. iRacing should have trucks. I've been saying that for a long time. There's no decent truck racing game out there.
Sector 1 is 3.6.
If they put trucks in this, it would be amazing. I have tried that truck racing game, which I think, I think I know which one you mean. I did try it, and it was a bit rubbish. Uh-oh. I was too busy watching the guy in front lose it. I think I'm going to take my bio break right now. Then I don't need to do it in a minute. No Pontorino. What's wrong with driving with a controller? Nobody said anything was wrong with driving with a controller. Why people get so offended so easily? Jeez. Right, I'll be back in a sec.
Sorry.
Oh, you found where I played it, Bigfoot. Nice. The only problem with glasses, they just mist up and get muck on them. What, does Forza not work on Windows 10 Game Food? I thought it worked on Windows via the Xbox thingy. Get these two? Hey! Oh, is it only Forza Horizon that installs on 10?
There's traffic approaching. Watch your mirrors.
Why does it not run on Windows? Oh my god, I've literally just done it again. Literally just done the exact same thing I did a minute ago. Forza does run on Windows 10 apparently.
Take care, there's a car approaching.
Rip. You thought the boat was easy to drive. All I can say is that iRacing has introduced new tyre physics, which on the first lap when the tyres are cold, it's horrendous. And no, the Merc is not easy to drive. None of the cars are. Asdev, thank you very much for 7 months. Hope you're well, sir. During the current situation. Dan Brown, welcome back. I don't race GT cars and racing, I'm not familiar with them. Okay. I could drop down to the right gear at the right time, or I could just try to plough through the chicane in third. Game 4, I think it was on about Forza though, not Forza Horizon. Prefer open wheel racing, fair enough. AN4211, thank you very much for gifting a sub to Aussie. Welcome, Aussie Pilot. You've been super into the TCR lately, really warm to the front wheel drives. Do you think the new Samsung 1000R Curve 32.9 will be better than going triple? Is it an ultra wide like this one? Same ultra wide, just a larger curve. So a larger curve, that means it's flatter, doesn't it? That's not an advantage in my opinion.
Sector 1 is 1.1 seconds off the pace.
Yeah, but isn't the R the radius of the curve? So a 900R is a tighter curve than a 1000R, which is a bit flatter. That's the way I understand.
2 is 0.5 off the pace.
Yeah, so a 1000R is flatter than a 900R, which, as I say, I don't think that's an advantage. Like, if you could make a version of this monitor with a smaller radius, you'd have more curve, and it would wrap around the driving position better. You have to be a meter away, I did it to the whole screen, which is not where you want to be.
That puts you 2.6 off the leader's pace.
The closer you can get to your screen, the wider field of view you can set. Your display has an 1800 curve. Okay, so the 1000 one's better, yeah? In that case, the Samsung one's got a better curve, so yes, it would be an advantage. Whoopsie. Not as big a whoopsie as that guy.
Sector 2 is 0.7 off the pace.
Why's he got an R in his number? Is it because he's a rookie? I don't know actually. Did you vlog the build of your setup? I kind of
201.22.
I kind of vlogged the build of the room, but not the rig. Gonna put the quality setup on. Get used to that. If it will have more of a curve than the existing Samsung.
Watch your mirrors, there's a car approaching.
No, that's exactly what we're saying. Is the smaller the radius of the curve, the more the monitor will be curved. So if it's 1000R and my monitor's 1800, it will have more of a curve. Struggling to get consistent. You're just gonna have to like watch tutorials, I guess, is the best way. There are plenty of people who teach racing, either via videos or like private sessions or whatever.
Sorry about that.
It doesn't show most of it, but that's fine. It's the second page that's more important anyway. First page is mostly fixed stuff. Yeah, VRS is like a paid-for service, which is very good for learning tracks and stuff. But, you know, VRS and PDS both do, like, private sessions. They have learning resources. There's YouTube channels that teach racing. Like, the principles of it. MX-5, Skip, Barbara, two wonderful cars to start with. The former's free. I never really got on with either of those two. I had high hopes for the GT4 as well, but I found it so incredibly bouncy that it annoyed me.
Happy anniversary, Nutter.
You find racing extremely hard to race and to switch from truck and casual driving to full 4-speed back track mode. Yeah, I can get that. Shadow21, thank you for a year.
Welcome back.
The Cayman is broke. I'm glad it's not just you that thinks so, or not just me that thinks so, I should say. Like, I've seen the Cayman GT4 on YouTube go around the Nordschleife. I have watched it go around racetracks, and it behaves nothing like what I see in iRacing. In iRacing, it feels like it's been planted on a 70s American sedan. Like one of those really spongy, kind of wallowy, bouncy, you know when the brake and the whole car goes boing, like that. Just like that. It's horrible. Like the Porsche do not make cars like that. Like the GT4 doesn't drive like that. It just doesn't. And if Porsche signed that off, I'm amazed. Do you want me to put quality cam on? Do a quirk thing to put quality cam on? Put it on the overhead.
Looks like you're clear on the pit exit.
Oh, car number 26. Strong field, tough crowd. I hate it where it does this, where you're on a turn like this, and then it suddenly snatches the force feedback away. Exactly. Exactly. The GT4 is a planted car. Oh, I don't know what they're all for.
All clear. Push
The
now.
one at the
Okay,
bottom
Paul,
is
we've
force
got
feedback.
2 laps to
It's
set a
like
decent time.
something to do with netcode and clients and frames. I can't remember all the bars though. LNQ or latency and connection quality. There you go. It's probably on an iRacing page somewhere. Renderer, graphics, latency, quality, CPU, skew, paging, and force feedback. There you go. I should not have read chat as I'm entering the chicane breaking point. Mika Sim, welcome back. Did the growth increased performance? The increased grip between my hands and the Alcantara leather on the wheel stopped me from ruining the leather as well. Like, I don't wear them because they make me look good. I wear them because they stop my hands from rubbing the Alcantara leather off and putting oil and grease into it.
B5, the lap time was at 2:00.3 seconds.
Oh, man.
The leader has just done a 159.
I had a great lap and then messed it up in the very last sector, somehow. Lost like 0.3 of a second. Otherwise it would have been a bit faster. Quite possibly under 2 minutes. Still, it was 2 clean laps, I shouldn't grumble. Yeah, it's always the same. I get like 5th, then I go 10th. But if you look, there's 0.1 of a second separating me and the previous 3 or 4 spaces. JAJTV. Well, thank you very much, sir. Welcome back. I hope you're staying healthy. El Kasim, thank you for 3 months. D-Pain, welcome back. Love the pepper emote. Wyland made that, I think. Yeah, there is Fandango. Next week's a much better week. Much better tracks.
That's the end of the session. P10.
Oh, well, I held on to P10 anyway. Simmon's pretty good, all good and healthy this end. Good to hear it. 4 months in total. Bit more of Jeff Bezos' money. He's got enough to go round.